Alright guys, Rxllout here. Welcome back to another quick easy video tutorial sort of thing. Now today we're going to be going over stereo imaging so we can put our sounds in the right place, make a more atmospheric and concise track and get our mixes sounding that bit better. So let's get into it. Alright guys, we are in the studio. So what we're going to see here is our frequency bands. We can put one here, one here, one here, and we can kind of move them about. But our loop, we can learn it as well. So if we just hit learn here and then play, kind of puts it, you know, roughly where it should be. So once we've got our frequency bands, we're going to essentially be spreading the stereo image wide and kind of bringing in some of these frequencies. So when would you use an imager? When your track sounds very kind of stale and in the middle, if there are phasing issues, you would do this. And yeah, that's kind of what happens when you put an imager on. It will spread out the sounds and bring in the sounds that need to be brought in, and it gives your track just an entire better stereo image. So what we're going to do here is quickly go over it. So if we solo this low end here, we can see here that it's kind of mono. There are some sounds that are going stereo, but most of it is mono. So if it's down the middle here, that means it's mostly mono. Now I'm going to show you guys what phasing is quickly. So if we add this to the kick, let's just add a stereo shaper, bring the delay up. And we're going to do this with also to the hats. Now we're going to delay it as well as the kick. And also our mid bass here. So this is essentially what is called the Haas effect. And it can sound good, you know, stereo imaging the mid bass. It's not like crazy, but it does sound quite cool. However, this causes major phasing issues. Now, phasing is essentially when there are sounds playing that are delayed very slightly from each other, but in the same frequency, so it kind of meshes them together and it sounds horrible. So we're avoiding that. Now, if we go here, first of all, the stereo image is off the charts. It looks ridiculous, and we're getting red phasing signs here. So to solve that, again, this is what it's mainly for. We'll go to the solo here and we will add this remove some stereo width from this low end here. Which, as you can see, although it is still stereo imaged, it is now playing this in the center. Going right up, which is completely mono, entirely mono. Now let's look at our chart. Zero phasing because we did this, but of course there are other sections. So if we listen to this, still some phasing here and there, especially if we put up. So we bring this down until the phasing issues are gone. 30 seems fine. Now there are less phasing issues in higher end kind of frequencies, so we won't hear as much of them. So we can just bring these up. Okay. Turn off the phase. Or turn off the solo. And do the same with the high end. So a lot of, you know, stereo imagers will look like this. So we've got the bass fully in mono, the mid bass kind of semi mono, and as we go to these higher frequencies, we're bringing them up and spreading them out wider. Now, even with stereo imaging on, and the stereo shaper I used on the kick, the bass, and the hats for this Haas effect, we are still not phasing because of this imager and bringing in the stereo width, which is awesome. Now, if we want to, essentially when we take away width and make it more mono, you can lose some of that volume from the sound. So if you take a sound and it was wider, it's going to be perceived more louder because it's wider, and when you bring it in, it kind of drops it down a bit. So that's what this recover sides part is for. So we can essentially bring it up. So we turn it off and then bring this up. This is adding some of the gain we lost from bringing it in mono. Now it's not going to be very much, so maybe just 2 or 3, but to exaggerate it. So that's quite flat. Boosted it up a bit with this. And we've done that because we have reduced the width of it. And this is doing it with all the side channel information, so that's what that's for. Okay, so if we turn this off completely and put it back on, it's not only kind of even the sound out and put everything in its rightful place, it has also kind of given us more headroom to boost the volume as well. Maybe we need to recover a bit. Oh, I didn't have it turned on, that's why. See how without it kind of sounds a bit mishmashy and the stereo image is all over the place. This brings it right in. And as we can see now here, there are no phasing issues apart from maybe when we turn it off. But when it's on, no phasing. But yeah, for reference and future kind of guides, never have a stereo shaper on your kick, never have a stereo shaper on your bass, and you can have it on your hats. But just remember that if there are any phasing issues, grab the imager and use it anywhere on most of your tracks, just to put every frequency in its correct position and have a fantastic mix. Of course, the amount as well, we can play with this. I'll do it quickly. But yeah, that's basically how to use an imager, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and share, all that good stuff. I have an EP coming out soon, and yeah, it's called Verdant. It's deep house, and hopefully you guys will love it. I've been putting a lot of work into it, and I'm trying every day to become a better producer and do more and more for this channel. So much love. Take care, guys. Yeah, thank you so much. Peace.